independent comics, I think, are they just have a little bit more of a personal story. The independent comic industry is solely there and is solely made up of fans who, for one, they've been wanting to get into the mainstream, and for some reason they can't, you know, or they can get into the mainstream, but they do want to tell that more personal story that won't fit in the mainstream eye. Uh, um, I love the mainstream. The mainstream has a lot of stuff, but I have always come to believe that the actual heart of the comic book industry can be found in the independent circuit. You know, those the guys in the independent circuit. I'm speaking as one of them. We have a lot of heart and a lot of drive put into what we do because we don't have the money to do it, and we do it for the love of it, and we make money. We make money solely to make more comic books. You know, it's not, we don't have like a bottom line we're trying to hit or something like that. We're just trying to do what we can because of the love of the medium. You know, and that's what I think it drives the comic book industry.
Probably about the same way independent film is different from mainstream film. It's always the huge budget, and you know, you've got all this expense that you can throw into a full budget movie, but it's not nearly as immediate, and there's much more of a personal aspect to independent whatever, you know, and I think it's much more relatable, and it's much more story or creativity driven.
Besides the money and the backing of a big company and just having millions and millions of fans, a lot of independent comic books have stories that are probably truer or more emotionally raw than a lot of the more mainstream comic books. And that's just because there's more freedom to what the creators of independent comic books do. They don't have to answer to I don't know, a corporate CEO who says, you know, your character is not supposed to look this way, or your character is supposed to fight a certain way, just to keep a fan base. Independent people, they have true fans that really stick with them.
Well, the obvious difference is you can do anything you want. You don't have to worry about editors as much, and you don't have to worry about appealing to a certain audience or, you know, meeting deadlines either. So it's much easier and it's much more fun.
Well, independent comics are so much different because they have so much more freedom than the mainstream. Mainstream is tied to the market and to sales, so they have to follow a certain format that sells or the popularity. The independent comics are more at the, they're sort of in the vanguard of exploration and presentation. They're able to basically kind of just chart new territory and not be held to the bounds that have been followed in the past. And so, I mean, they have the opportunity to really have a liberty that is not bound by the market.
How are independents different from mainstream? Freedom. There's a great freedom in making independent comics. You don't have an editor, like in mainstream books, you don't have the editor standing over your shoulder telling you what you can and can't do. A lot of times in independents, the publisher is the owner and the editor and everything, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. There's no limit. There's no one to tell you no. There's no one to stifle your creativity. You can go in any direction you want, whether other people like it, support it, love it, whatever. It doesn't matter. You do what you want to do. And in a mainstream comic, you're pretty much relegated to doing what they want you to do, and it's a job. And with independence, it's not so much a job as a passion.